What's up, YouTube? How y'all doing today? Hope y'all are doing awesome. Appreciate every single one of you for watching. Today's video is going to be a Ticked Off Tuesday video. What ticks me off. And this one might rustle a little bit of feathers, and I'm going to try and get through this as pristinely as possible because this is kind of a touchy subject. But it kind of relates to, it's not exactly, but it kind of relates to the P. Diddy and the Epstein lists and issues and stuff like that. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. Okay, so the Epstein list, and it does involve the Epstein and Diddy lists, and now that Trump's been elected, I'm kind of hoping in some way that these lists come out. And it's not necessarily because I want I want to see who's on those lists and I want to say I told you. It's not that. It's because people that do this to people, if it's legit, and this is, people that do what is said, what these two, what Diddy and Epstein have said to be doing with kids, I think that's something that I totally disagree with, totally don't like. And the reason I say bring these lists out is, like I said, not to basically, see who's on these lists, because I feel that they need to be investigated. Every single person on those lists, and even if they're innocent, even if they just so happen to get on that list, Diddy or Epstein's flight list, his flight logs. Just because your name is on that flight log doesn't necessarily mean you were involved with what he was doing. Doesn't necessarily mean you're guilty. But but everybody on those lists needs to at least be investigated and tried. And if they're found innocent, cool. See you. Bye. Have a good life. Sorry to bother you. But if they're found guilty, those are the ones that need to be handled and disciplined and punished accordingly. And hey, y'all, I'm sorry to interrupt, and I appreciate y'all watching. I just wanted to take a quick few seconds to say thank you. Y'all are the lifeblood of the channel, the viewers, the subscribers. But if you wouldn't mind, if you haven't already, take a few seconds, hit that subscribe button. Trying to reach some goals, trying to reach 6,000 by the end of the year. I've got a few other things I'm working on. Appreciate y'all. Love you. Couldn't do it without you. There's also donation links. If you feel like donating, there's a super thanks. You don't have to do that. No pressure for that, but it's there if you want. If anything, just hit the subscribe button. Costs you absolutely nothing. Takes you 5 seconds. And then if you don't like me, you can unsubscribe. No harm, no foul. But anyway, like I said, I appreciate you. Y'all are the reason I do this. I don't do this just because I do this for you, and I appreciate you. I couldn't do it without you, and I wouldn't do it without you. So if you wouldn't mind, if you haven't, hit that subscribe button, like the video, comment, the YouTube algorithmic stuff, I don't have to explain it. Just take that few seconds and hit the buttons, do the things, check out the links. I've got socials down below, links to other channels, links to whatever links there are. Just check them out. Help me out, do whatever, help me out with a few pennies if you feel like it. If not, just hit the button. Every subscribe helps, every view helps. Appreciate y'all. Love you. Back to your show. And same with Diddy's list. Because Diddy was a popular guy. He was, he had all kinds of, he was always at events, at parties, at stuff, and you see pictures all over the internet of Diddy with other people. He was a popular guy. He was part of Hollywood. He was a big, he was very popular guy, and he was hanging out with a lot of people. But that doesn't necessarily mean those people that he was with are guilty. And that's why a lot of people may not want that list to come out. Because it's like, well, how do these lists, my name's on that list. I don't want to be. I just feel that your name's on the list. You need to be looked into. If you're found innocent, cool, you're innocent. Bye. Like I said, have a nice life. Sorry to bother you. We just needed to check it. We were just. But those that are guilty they need to be, like I said, they need to be addressed. And says me, If you're doing that, what they're claiming, what they're accusing these Diddy parties of, and this Epstein Island thing, what they were accusing people of doing at those places, says me. This is my opinion. No matter what, if you're found guilty, I think it should be death immediately. I think it should be death penalty on the spot. No, I mean, not maybe not on the spot, but death penalty. I think it needs to be death penalty. Don't set him in jail, hold him in prison for 10, 15 years or so, and then let him out. No, they need not or not life in prison, because that's just taxpayers' dollars paying for these people to stay in prison. They treat kids that way, children that way. They need to be handled accordingly. Period. I don't care if it's politicians. I don't care if it's Hollywood actors. I don't care if it's athletes. I don't care if it's my neighbor. I don't care if you're found guilty for that and tried and found guilty and you did it. Says me, I think it needs to be death penalty. They don't need to hold you in jail. They don't need, like, 'cause that's taking out of taxpayers' dollars. Taxpayers are paying to put you in prison and hold you in prison for years just so you can get out and do it again. What's up? Sorry to interrupt your video, but I just wanted to show you this little thing that I've got. I wanted to kind of show you some of the equipment I use and some of the gear I use. I'm not sponsored by these guys at all. This is a SOG. It's the Tellus. It's it's a really good knife. It's fairly lightweight and it's very very sturdy. It stays sharp really well. Like I said, I'm not sponsored by these guys at all, nor am I affiliate with these guys. They're not paying me to say anything about this, but it's a very 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 good knife. I use it a lot. I mean, you can tell I haven't used it a ton, but I've got my EDC knives, but it's a very quality, very sturdy knife. Comes with a Kydex sheath. The clip isn't the best, but just want to show you I am an Amazon affiliate to these. So if you do want one, I'll leave a link below to it. But again, I'm not affiliated by these, nor do I sell them or anything like that. I just leaving you a link to Amazon. If you want one, it's an excellent knife. And if you buy one off that link, you get a good, solid, budget-friendly knife. And you're helping me out with a few pennies. If you feel up for it. If not, that's cool. I just wanted to show you kind of some of the gear I use and give you the opportunity to buy it. I am poor man's preparedness, so I do stuff that doesn't cost so much. This actually was in a one of them subscription boxes like Tac Pack or something. So it actually, I mean, costed me whatever the box costed, but like I said, keep it short. There is a link below to an affiliate Amazon if you want one. Again, I'm not sponsored. They're not paying me anything to say this. They're not, I don't sell these. I don't have a store that sells these or anything like that. Just an Amazon affiliate. If you buy one, you get a good quality knife at a reasonably decent price, and you're helping me out with a few pennies. So it's a win-win. So anyway, appreciate you. Hit you back to your show now. And that's what ticks me off. I mean, it's like I said, it's not necessarily the people on those lists, because they may not all be guilty. And that's why I'm not trying to say that bring those lists out. I want to bring those lists out because the people that are guilty need to be handled accordingly. They need to be tried and prosecuted and tried and investigated and all that. Even if they're not guilty, they need to be at least investigated. Say, hey, why were you at these parties? Why were you there? Well, and if you have a trial and you found innocent, cool. Or if there's not enough, if you're innocent, you're innocent. You shouldn't be punished for being in it, just for having your picture taken with Diddy, and that's it. You were at a party. You were at a celebrity fiasco or whatever the heck they want to call them, and you had your picture taken with Diddy. That doesn't mean you're guilty. But if you're guilty, you need to be handled accordingly. And I hope he does bring those lists out. I know they're trying everything in their power not to. Why? Why are you trying not to bring these lists out? Because you've got something to hide. There's reasons to hide those lists. If those lists weren't, if certain people weren't on those lists, they would already be out. They wouldn't care. They'd like, yeah, put those lists out. Let's do this. But certain people are on that list that are very high up on the food chain, if you will. High politicians, high, Hollywood celebrities. There's some people on that list that, and they don't want those. They don't want to tarnish their name, and so they don't want them coming out. And I think they need to. I think they need to bring those lists out straight up. And anybody else that's doing that, regardless if you're on the Diddy list or on the Epstein list, if you've done it, if you're part of that and you're found guilty, I don't care if you're my next door neighbor, I don't care who you are. You do stuff like that, that's my take. Punishable by death, period. You don't do that to kids. Sorry. I mean, adults, you don't do that to adults, but you definitely don't do that to kids. End of story. I don't care. But that's just me. And that's my ticked off. That's what ticks me off. Not just on Tuesday. That ticks me off every day. If, don't treat kids that way. Don't do that. And Trump, bring out those lists. I don't care. Bring them out. If you got something to hide, you wouldn't care. Or if you didn't have anything to hide, you wouldn't care. Those that argue it and say, don't bring them out, don't bring them out, there's a reason why you don't want them out. And you're probably on that list and you're probably guilty. If you're not guilty, fine, bring the list out. I'm not guilty. If your name's on it, you're going to be worried. But I think just because your name's on it doesn't mean you're guilty. But they need to be addressed and whatever. But anyway, enough of that. Starting to ramble. Ticked off Tuesday. Appreciate y'all watching. Love y'all. Couldn't do it without you. Hit the subscribe button. Do the things. Click the links down below. The donation links and, affiliate links and stuff like that. If you feel like it. If not, hey, cool. Just hit the subscribe button. That's all I ask. Appreciate it. It helps me out a ton. Just every little teeny bit helps me out a ton. I'm trying to grow, trying to hit some goals, and, every teeny tiny little bit helps me get to those goals. And anyway, appreciate you. Love you. Couldn't do it without you. See you in the next one.